Jay-Z is definitely getting his money's worth, as his high-profile attorney, Alex Spiro, just held a press conference detailing the numerous inconsistencies from his client's accuser. So many, in fact, that 50 Cent seems to be changing teams. Meanwhile, Diddy has completely abandoned his attempt to get bail and just got denied the motion, saying that the feds have been corrupt. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Lots of breaking news coming in. In fact, this is breaking. The judge in Diddy's case has denied his motion, saying, no, there's no leaks or illegal activity coming in from the government, or at least you have been unable to prove it. And the motion has now been denied. He was trying to prove that, yeah, the Department of Homeland Security engaged in a campaign against him of strategic leaks and grand jury material, yada, yada, yada. The long and short of this 4-page or 5-page document pretty much sums up the judge isn't buying it, or at least they have not been able to prove that this is who did it. They just assume who did it, and the fact of the matter is the judge has no proof stating otherwise. Now, doesn't mean the feds aren't being sneaky. I wouldn't be surprised, but they got to sadly prove it, and they haven't. And honestly, given all the other things that Diddy's team has gotten wrong, I am not surprised. I am surprised that he's finally giving up on this. He has abandoned his attempt to get bail. He's just now going to be in jail until the case happens. And so I'm interested to see if the case does then actually happen on time, if Diddy and his team, in fact, ensure a speedy trial happens, hoping that the feds won't have enough, and the faster we get to trial, the faster he thinks he can win. Or will more indictments come, prompting a longer trial? Who knows if this date in May will actually be held. But all I know is now Diddy is going to be in jail until that trial for sure. There's no doubt about it anymore. He has given up on trying to get out. Now, regarding Jay-Z, if you missed our story over the weekend, this was a massive update. Look, honestly, I know a lot of you are just out to get Jay-Z. I can't work that way. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Look, I got a lot of issues with Jay-Z personally. I don't necessarily love the guy, but did he actually do this? I don't know. I'm kind of shocked how many people just jumped and said, oh, he did it. We got to actually prove it, guys. And the accuser has to actually prove it. And to be honest, based off that interview and the more we're learning, I don't think this is just the lawyer paying people off. I really don't. There's a lot here that doesn't make sense. And it's shocking that Tony Busby allowed it to get this far. He's been very vocal in all his responses, and I'm not hearing much from him these days. He looks terrible on this. So much so that 50 Cent is in on this, saying, my God, here, I have it right here. Now, I don't know why he posted a shot of Basquiat, the artist. Not guilty. That's not a picture of Jay-Z. Man, the bee lion, her own daddy wouldn't support the story, could have ruined the man's life. What the F? Busby got to pay for this S. So even 50 Cent coming in, seemingly still trolling, but also being like, this isn't good. 50 Cent's been like the biggest person against all these people, but even he's now acknowledging this doesn't look good. And honestly, I'm the same way. This looks awful for Busby and this accuser. And if she was in fact lying, shame on them. That is horrific. And Jay-Z is going to get so much money, defamatory judgment, etc. I would not be surprised. Now, again, doesn't mean Jay-Z's innocent of everything, but guys, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Even this man, as much as a lot of you want to pile on and mob justice this guy, we can't work that way. I refuse to work that way, given what we learned during the Johnny Depp case, my own case, and so many others out there, the Duke lacrosse team that got lied about. It happens, sadly. So we got to be fair, and I want to be fair, and that's why I want to make sure we're reporting the other side of this. Now, again, could there still be shenanigans? It's possible. But Alex Spiro just held a press conference at Roc Nation's NYC headquarters. I tried to find video. That's why we were a little late today. I was trying to catch this press conference, but it doesn't seem to exist, and I don't want to keep waiting. But he held this press conference, and according to Spiro, it's obvious Mr. Carter didn't R anybody. And then he played footage from the NBC interview, which we shared over the weekend, where the accuser shares her story. And he then breaks down inconsistencies, detailing, and I got to be honest, these are some pretty damn good inconsistencies. I mean, to show that they got to do a better job proving this. They said the VMAs ended at 11:11. Based on the allegation and location of the party, it would have, I guess no one's saying that. That's when the VMAs ended. That's factual information. So based off of that, it would have taken at least an hour to arrive. Allegations also indicate that if true, Jane Doe arrived, spoke with multiple celebrities, had a spiked drink, was aided by both Combs and Carter, found her bearings while inebriated, left the house all within 37 minutes. Jane Doe's description of the home doesn't match any of Combs' homes at the time. Jane Doe claimed that she met Benji and Joel Madden that night, who were on tour at the time. Jane Doe claims she snuck out of the house to attend the VMAs and watched on a Jumbotron. MTV did not construct a Jumbotron for the 2000 VMAs. Both Combs and Carter were photographed at commercial venues immediately following the award show. Look, these are bad. This is a lot of bad. Now, I know sometimes you can get the date, you can get information wrong. It's a long time ago. A lot of victims are survivors are going to come and say, Andy, no, I know we got to listen, but this is a lot. Her father's not condoning the story, which is massive. Now, granted, I guess he could be paid off. I don't know, but he's not corroborating the story. So now there's no witness. We know when the party ended, and she's said when it happened, and that doing the math of where the home would be, when the party would end, and the timelines of what we have, I guess she could be wrong in the amount of time she was there, but he's doing a pretty good job at detailing how could this have even happened given what we know factually about the times that have been presented. I mean, it's a fair argument. Also, no description of the home apparently matches any of Combs' previous properties. Now, I could argue maybe they didn't go to a Combs property. Maybe they went somewhere else and she just assumed it was a Combs property. And if they were throwing some event that night off the grid, I suppose it is possible it would have been somewhere else. So I would think there's still an argument to be made against Spiro's argument here. This one's pretty bad. She claims that she met Benji and Joel Madden, who were at the tour. Now, you could say they're covering it up. They don't want to say it, but they were at a different tour at that time. They couldn't have been there. This isn't a debate of, well, they're lying. They were paid off. They weren't physically there. They were on tour somewhere else. So that's not a good look that she got the two major celebrities wrong. She then claims she snuck out and watched on a Jumbotron. This is serious research. If this is true, if they were able to prove that, no, there was never a Jumbotron made at the VMAs in that year, again, now her stories, more and more of her story just isn't lining up, especially since Combs and Carter were also photographed at commercial venues immediately following. This means it would have had to happen way later, which again, doesn't make sense given the timeline of things. All of this looks incredibly bad. And Tony Busby's not out there saying a lot of new stuff. So look, this is bad. Carter is assessing in the statement we talked about over the weekend. Tony Busby filed this and doubled down to the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it, but soon. Look, I'll be honest. I would not want to be Tony Busby right now. I don't. This is not a good look. He's already sort of said, well, we got handed this from somebody else and we assume, blah, blah. Don't ever assume, dude. Don't ever assume. And meanwhile, he's just posting shots of him with his dog. Like that's the last post. He's pretty, put disinfectant into the sunlight, yada, yada, yada. And meanwhile, he's silent on this. Nothing. This is a massive update that his client, why did she even do this interview? How did he let his client, did she agree? Did he know? Did someone get to her and then Spiro leaked it off to the press? That's my theory. In which case, Spiro, wow, good on you. Somehow sneakily getting this accuser to talk and spill the beans. But the fact that Tony Busby didn't talk to this accuser first to get all this out and ensure that it made sense and that it was possible, how did Spiro and NBC News have a better vetting program than Busby? That's the big problem we got to ask ourselves. And this will affect everything. And so now Jay-Z could help Diddy in a lot of ways because clearly you get what you pay for lawyer-wise. Costco lawyer is nothing compared to Spiro. At the same time, I do believe Diddy isn't a good dude. I think Diddy's hiding a lot of stuff. And it's hard to defend a guilty person. Maybe Jay-Z's not guilty in this incident, right? That's the reality. He might have done other stuff. There's definitely some questionable behavior about who he likes to date, and who's had children with. I'm not going to dispute any of that. And I know there's other allegations from others. Okay, not disputing any of that. Potentially, I don't know. I wasn't there. But regarding this, it's hard to now just be against him regarding this. I'm with Jay-Z. This is bad news. And yeah, if this is true, and Busby didn't do this homework, Busby deserves to pay for this. You can't be out there extorting people just believing it because, and then putting it all out there. We're going to release your name unless you pay us. Pay us. We didn't do it. We're not paying you. This is a bad look. I know we don't like Hollywood celebrities and even Jay-Z, but I'm sorry. What's right and wrong are very clearly detailed. And in this instance, if this was all BS, That's as wrong as it gets, folks. And it will affect real victims and real stuff Jay-Z did. Now people will go, oh, see, it was all nonsense. If Busby did that, I'm going to be furious. Furious. What do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell for all alerts. Smash that thumbs up as well. Leave your comments down below. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live a little earlier, so I hope you'll join us in the afternoon. We got a lot to catch up on, and I want to get your theories and thoughts. So make sure you hit that subscribe. Stay tuned for tomorrow's live. We'll be earlier, probably around 12 or 1. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.